What does that name imply? What are we going to get? Well, I'm going to tell you everything that I possibly know about Skylanders Imaginators right here in this video. So make sure you watch it all and don't miss a thing. First up, the logo. Bit of a break from tradition, this. Less colour, more focus on the text, and we also have the light and dark elemental insignias, symbols, just squeezed in there at the ends. But of course, Imaginators is the focus, and what does that mean? Well, the core concept in this game is the ability to create your own Skylanders. That's right, you've got a full Skylander creator built into this game, and we'll give you a bit more details on that as we go through the video. But what you want to know really is, what characters are we going to get? Well, as is usual with these initial announcements, we've only got a few for you, and let's start with King Pen. Now, you may, if you're a big Skylanders fan, have seen this image already on a calendar. So everybody who guessed if this character was in the game, you were right. I think it was pretty obvious when we saw a new character, that's got to be in. But I didn't see anybody guess what this character was all about, because this guy is a Sensei Skylander. Skylanders perhaps borrowing a little bit from Ninjago there, maybe? But yeah, we have Sensei Skylanders, and he is one, and he is a penguin, as you can see. And we got a few other pictures of him, so let's have a look at those first. First up, the toy, and we'll try and zoom in a bit here, but you can see he's got this kind of black and gold armor, blue kind of feather top hair piece to his helmet, huge blades on his arms, and this golden belt. But what you'll also notice is the bases are massively different. So we've got a water base here for a penguin, and this symbol. Now, this symbol is the battle class of the Sensei. They all have different ones. This one is the I almost got it wrong there. This one is the Brawler battle class, yeah. So let's go in and take a look at the detail here. Obviously, this is the 3D model of the character, so the toy may or may not be like this perfectly, but you can see the feathering there. The 3D model looks really good, even the detailing on the belt, and then down to that symbol. There you go. There is your Brawler symbol. But what is a Sensei? What else are we going to get? Well, let's have a look at this character in-game first before we move along. So, we're going to drop out here, and then we've got him in the game fighting some kind of vultures on jetpacks. A kind of combination of threat pack here and a vulture. Don't know what that's about yet. We'll find out obviously in the story, but you can see Kingpen primed for action. I also don't think anybody guessed that name. Obviously a play on Kingpin, but I wonder if we'll guess all the other characters that are going to come. And talking about the characters, let's have a look at one. Here's a new character for you. This guy is Tri-Tip. So, quite obviously, a Triceratops. But you can see some similarities here in the armor. So again, this black and gold armor. And let's have another look at the toy. So you can see black and gold armor here, these Triceratops horns, and let's get in here and look at the detail. So big weapon. All these characters seem to have big weapons, kind of akin to the Trapmasters really. And I think the physical toys as well are quite big and chunky. But obviously the armor is a similarity. You can see down here is the belt, and get right in there, you can see that detailing again. But this guy's an Earth character, and he has a different symbol, and this is the Smasher battle class. So we've had Brawler, we've got Smasher. What else might there be? Well, there's a few more surprises yet. But this guy looks really fun. He's got those eyes, those very, unique Skylander eyes that stand out. You look at a character and you think he's a Skylander, and he's got that quality, I think. So as we come out again, and then we have a look, what else have we got for you? Here he is in action in the game with that big mace-like weapon. Again, taking on those vulture dudes. Ooh, who's this? Well, yes, that's the Golden Queen. What's she doing here? What would a villain be doing in this game? Well, actually, she's a sensei. She is still, well, not really a villain. She's a kind of, let's say, rehabilitated villain, I think is the word I'm after. Yes, because she's now on the side of good. She is a sensei. But what type is she, and what does this mean for other villains? Well, let's move along and have a look. Here's the figure. Very gold, but a couple of different tones in there, just so that it's not all one shade of gold. But her symbol is missing. But don't worry, I know what it is, and I will let you know shortly. Let's get in here and have a look, though. So you can see that very familiar Golden Queen face. And yes, she is a villain, former villain. And now you can play as her in the game. But she's not the only one, because we're going to get 20 hero senseis. So, you know, they were good, they were always good, now they're senseis. We're also going to get these villain senseis, who are now good, rather than villains, but they were former villains, and there's going to be either 10 or 11. Now, we're not entirely sure. We've had different numbers from different sources. Most people saying 10, but there is some hint that we might get 11. Does that mean that one of them's Chaos? Who knows? Is Chaos even the villain in this? Well, yeah, I think he is. Well, we'll get to the story in a bit. So that's Golden Queen. But what is this? What's this thing? This is the key to everything. So this is your creator crystal. And what do you do with this? This is where your created Skylanders go. So you're bringing your characters to life by putting them in here. A little bit like traps, I guess. This time, your creations go into this crystal. Actually, you know, this looks really cool. Just zooming in on it, the detail and everything on this crystal and the case that it's in, fantastic. Obviously, it's got an element, and we'll get to that. But this crystal also pulsates while it's on the portal. So it's got the kind of light core-like technology in there. And as you can see, it's elementally aligned, which means the character you create to go in this needs to be of that element. So, what do we got next for you? Well, this guy is one of the wonders that you can create from millions of pieces. Well, millions is probably an exaggeration. Hundreds upon hundreds of pieces that you can collect within the game. And I think now is probably a good time to take a look at some gameplay. So let's do that. So here you go. We start up looking at some gameplay of Golden Queen, who's about to transform into this huge molten version of herself, and she's going to go around slamming these vulture dudes. But you can see, just looking at the world, this is Skylanders. We are back. It's very familiar. Everything has that Skylanders feel to it. So, you know, you're not going to get something radically different in gameplay. At least not in the kind of core adventure. And in the background there, did you notice Jetvac? Why is he kind of flying up in the background? And what's this Imaginite thing? And why is there a Chaos backpack? Well, let's stop there and have a think about that and rewind that a little bit. Alright, so we can see on this image of the Golden Queen that there's a little pink chest there. We can see Jetvac in the background. And if we play this forward again, pay close attention. So the Golden Queen smashes the chest. The chest gives her some Imaginite, which is rare. And it also gives her an object, which is the Chaos backpack. Now these are important because these play into the whole character creator. You use the Imaginite and you use your items to be able to flesh out your characters. You can also see here with King Pen, as he waddles around the screen, in the background there is a kind of what looks a bit like an elemental gate. That's actually a Sensei Shrine, and that is where you get the special Sensei Sky Chi power from. Yes, each Sensei has one of these powers, and you need the right Sensei, the right type to get that. And you can see the Imaginite here again, and this time getting a weapon. It's a brawler weapon, so you've got different types that again you can apply to your created characters, your Imaginators. So now we've got Tri-Tip in action with that mace, being able to summon these Triceratop heads to take out the enemies. Very similar to other Earth characters. And again, he's smashing a chest, get some Imaginite, and he's got a smasher weapon. This time a guitar. Now, this is the core of everything about the latest game. This is the Imaginator creator, and you can do just about anything here. You've got different body parts, you've got resizable everything, you've got colouring everything, you've got ears, heads, you've got weapons, all manner of stuff. And just look at the variety of things here that you can do to these characters. So much stuff. Chest, legs, arms. You can increase the muscle size. There's tons and tons of things. Some of this stuff will impact on like how the character moves and things like that. Not sure yet exactly what impacts the stats. They haven't really gone into those details. But there's so much stuff here. So much stuff to go through. And you can see the legs. So while you watch this, let's recap a bit on what we've seen so far. So we've had King Pen, who is an air elemental brawler. We've had Tri-Tip, who's an earth elemental smasher. And we've had Golden Queen, who's an earth elemental sorcerer. Yeah, that's her special battle class. Now, King Pen comes from a militaristic unit of penguins who protect the Cloudmelt glaciers. And, you know, he's learnt the ancient combat style known as Flipper Foo. And, you know, Master Eon caught wind of his skills and recruited him as a sensei. Tri-Tip, well, he was wandering Skyland searching for the mythical warping walnut tree, rumoured to be never in the same place at the same time. After many years, he did though find the tree just before it vanished once again. And he took from it the golden walnut, which was said to reveal life's purpose to those who could open it. Eventually, Tri-Tip forged a mighty mace and became the ultimate master of smashing. Eon recruited him, and now he's a sensei. The Golden Queen, of course, we know her story from Trap Team, and she was left just stuck in Cloudcracker prison with no future ahead of her, imprisoned forever, until Eon offered some of the villains a chance at redemption. And here, some of them took that chance and became senseis, although they had to earn it by sorting all the books out in the Academy Library. That took a couple of years. Now you can see some gameplay from the Imaginator on screen. You know, we've built our character, we've customized it however we want, and now we can take it into the action. You can teach this character skills and all manner of upgrades with your sensei, and so much customization here. So, you know, you're really free to go crazy. I mean, you saw that picture of the Skylander Imaginator before we looked at the gameplay, and just like craziness, mental characters. Now, one of the things we are interested in, and we have speculated about, is what if you could take these created characters and actually bring them to life? You know, turn them into physical figures. There are some toy companies, Mattel is one of them, that have devices on the market now for 3D printing. You might, in fact, be able to send your character off to get him 3D printed. I would imagine if that happened, there would be a cost involved, but how cool would that be? Make and get your own characters. Now, none of that has been confirmed, and we are just speculating, but wouldn't it be cool? In fact, there is a 3D printer on the market right now that is actually called Imaginators 3D. Perhaps? Maybe? Well, we'll see. That's certainly not cheap, so, you know, if you own one, good for you. You might hope that you get to print these out. So we spoke about senseis having battle classes, and there are 10 of those battle classes, but we only know a few of them so far. We know there's a knight, a sorcerer, a bowslinger, a brawler, and a smasher. Obviously we've seen a smasher, a brawler, and a sorcerer, but yet to see a knight or a bowslinger. Other things to tell you about, well, the benefits that Imaginators get from their sensei are the sensei helps them unlock Imaginator weapons, it increases the Imaginator's level caps, provides access to secret areas in the game, and also unlocks secret techniques for the Imaginators of the same battle class. Worth bearing that in mind. Now, we've spoken about battle classes, we've spoken about sensei shrines. We haven't touched on elemental zones. We don't yet know whether elemental zones will be back. Hopefully, because we all love them, but no confirmation yet. And as we said, there will be 20 senseis and 10 or 11 villains. And these figures are pretty chunky. And they're going to be priced at $14.99. But you'll have to, as we flick back to our images, you'll have to wait for UK pricing, unfortunately, because we don't yet know that. But what else do we know about this game? Well, let's have a look at this Imaginator in action. You can see full-on, full-blooded attacks here from our really wacky Imaginator. And just the ability to create whatever you like is pretty awesome. Now, this is the PlayStation 4 starter pack. You can see you get Master Kingpin in there and the Golden Queen. The Golden Queen's looking a little bit different in coloration. I think that's just this mock-up. If you look a little closely at other pictures, obviously there's more colour there. Now, it's worth us zooming in. This isn't the highest resolution image, but let's zoom in and pan this image about a bit. If I can get in and just pan down here, you can see we're getting a bit pixelated here. But here we've got the portal. So the portal is a fan favourite portal, and as you can see, this is the Swap Force portal. So that is back. If you've already got a Swap Force portal, you're going to end up with 2. We don't yet know if there's going to be other packs released, like a digital version, so you don't need to buy another starter pack with a portal, but you also get the creation crystal as well. As you can see here, this is the fire one. So we zoom back out of here. We've got pictures of the other starter packs too, or some of them. We've got the Xbox One here, exactly the same. And we've got the dark packs. Now, we don't have any pictures of what is in the dark packs, but we can confirm those for you. So let's do that. So in the dark edition, we're going to get 3 exclusive black and silver variant designs of new senseis. We're going to get 3 creation crystals, a 2-sided Ultimate Collector poster, sticker sheets, and more. Now, the price of the dark edition is going to be $99.99, and the starter pack will be $74.99. Obviously, the dark edition, I think, offers quite a bit more value, so perhaps that might be the one to pick up. But note that there are only 2 figures in the starter pack. Unlike Superchargers, where you had the Supercharger character and vehicle, rather, you have the vehicle and the character, and you had a core Skylander as well. This time, just the 2 senseis, one a villain, one not. Now, we mentioned core Skylanders there, and we don't yet know whether there will be any core Skylanders coming out. So far, indications are there won't be any. No reposers, no new core Skylanders, but we'll see if that stays the case. You can see here from this image that we've got pictures of 2 other senseis. One obviously a life and one a fire. The fire one looks a little bit samurai-ish, carrying a torch. Maybe a little bit torch-like. And obviously the Life Sensei we've got here has that kind of jaggedy blade, looks a bit shaman-like. Now, what else do we know while you stare lovingly at this picture? Well, all 300 plus Skylander character toys are supported. Note I said character toys. We do know for a fact, and I know this will disappoint quite a few people, so please calm yourselves. Traps are unfortunately not supported in this game. There is no trap slot on the portal that we know of, and the traps themselves are not supported in any other way. Vehicles, although not confirmed 100%, should be supported by one of the gameplay modes, and we'll get to that. And although it's not been officially confirmed either, magic items should also be supported. Now, we spoke about gameplay modes, so what can we say about them? Well, let's as we talk about that, let's flick back and watch this again. So, gameplay modes. We are going to have local co-op to go with the single player adventure, so you'll be able to play 2 characters just as before, and the portal supports 2 characters or 2 creation crystals, or 1 character, 1 creation crystal. So the limit is definitely set at 2. Whether there is online multiplayer that supports more, we don't know, but we do know there will be online multiplayer racing. So all of the kind of superchargers racing that you're used to, that will be back, so your vehicles can be used. And on top of that, you'll also be able to use digital vehicles. So if you don't own any superchargers vehicles, don't worry, you don't need to buy any. You can race with digital vehicles. So that's game modes. We've got no confirmation on other game modes like battle modes. Sorry, I know a lot of people want that back. Personally, I do too, but we've not heard anything on that. We mentioned about the elemental zones. So that's all we know on game modes so far. They have said the single player adventure is a long single player adventure, probably in keeping with what we've had before, so I don't think anyone's going to be disappointed. And they have also said that the game is set to randomize the drops for all of the Imaginator parts. So once you play through the game, if you go back through it, the chests will have different parts in, encouraging you to play through the game again and again to get more and more parts. Ooh, what else was there? So, the Creation Crystal. Let's talk more about the Imaginators and the Creation Crystal, because we're about to have a look at that on screen. So, you can customize any body part, its size, its color, its powers. Not the body part's powers, but the character's powers, their abilities, and their catchphrases. Now, you collect Imaginator parts throughout the game, as we said, and that's randomized. They are common, rare, epic, and mythic. And also, there is a limit on this character creator. So if you're playing 2-player local co-op, you cannot both be creating characters at the same time. There is only 1 character creator allowed on screen at any one time. So very much the creator is a single player experience, but you can take it in turns, obviously. And the characters themselves, you can create something that looks like a Fire Skylander but isn't, of another element, and that way you can put it into a creation crystal that's of a suitable element, because you are limited on that. So if you want to create Skylanders of each element and save them in your creation crystals, you need a creation crystal of each element. And if you want to save multiple ones, you're going to need multiple creation crystals. Whether they will release different designs on the crystals, we don't know yet. They're obviously going to be coloured differently, but will they have different cases? Who knows? Not confirmed yet. Also worth noting that completed Imaginators are not saved in the game themselves. They exist solely in the Creation Crystal. Now, because the game is still in development, it hasn't been finalised yet whether you'll be able to save an Imaginator midway through its creation or not. or whether you can save a template or anything like that. None of that has been confirmed. What we do know is you want to save one, you need a creation crystal. The creation crystals themselves will cost $9.99, and again, we don't have UK pricing, but you can probably expect a pretty literal translation into pounds. We normally get something similar than that, and then you'll see prices drop a little from retailers. What else do we know? The creation crystals pulsate as they light on the portal. We mentioned that before. And the physical creation crystal stores only a single Imaginator, and of course of the same element. And I think that is just about everything that we know about Skylanders Imaginators right now. Now, we have asked plenty of questions and we have had no more answers than this. So feel free to go hunting on the internet to see what you can find out. And if you do find any other information, we would love to know what you found out. So please, please, please leave us a comment. And of course, let us know what you think of the concept in general. Are you excited about creating your own Skylanders? I am, my son is, and in fact, the idea has kind of reinvigorated his love for this franchise, along with Battlecast as well. And you should check out our videos on that, because that is a great, great Skylanders card game. Well worth looking at. So, yeah, this is it. This is the next Skylanders game. And I almost forgot to tell you what it's coming out on. It'll be coming on PS4, Xbox One, PS3, Xbox 360 and Wii U. They are the only platforms that have been confirmed. So if you own a Wii or a 3DS, there has been nothing announced yet. Now, bearing in mind that the Wii didn't get an adventure mode last time out, it's quite possible that may happen again, but we don't know yet. Also, we haven't received a pack image yet for the Wii U. Now, last year, I believe the Wii U was announced at E3, along with the Skylander amiibos. So it is possible that we might get those again. Might we get different characters? Last time we had Donkey Kong and Bowser. Maybe we're going to get some Koopas, or maybe we might even get Mario or Luigi. Princess Peach. We don't know, but we do think we might get them again. We've got no pack images for PS3 or 360 as well, but I would expect those to be standard. The game across those platforms is identical, so all announced platforms have the same game. We also don't know yet about iOS or Apple TV. No idea if that'll be supported, but I would imagine so. Speculation on my part, but I would imagine so. That's normally announced a bit later. The release date for this is October the 13th in Australia and New Zealand, October the 14th in Europe, and October the 16th in North America. So a little extra wait for North America, but I'm sure it'll be worth it. Pricing we've already covered. So yeah, that's it, guys. This is Skylanders Imaginators. I really hope you're excited by it. I am, and I think obviously with Disney Infinity disappearing from the marketplace and LEGO Dimensions just focusing on expansions as far as we're aware, this is the game with the big story mode now. So if you want a adventure in Toys to Life, I think this is where you need to be. Skylanders Imaginators, it will bring all the colourful characters and the fun and that great adventure mode